we expected that Hendon, who's not fully participating because of his torn ACL, all the reports around how that's going seems to be great. But our expectation was these teams at the Senior Bowl or in Indianapolis, certainly with the Combine, people meeting with Hendon and talking to him, they're going to walk away impressed. And if you read Bruce Feldman's story at theathletic.com, you will see coaches talking about Hendon being impressive, saying that Hendon Hooker excelled in his sit-down conversations with teams. One of the quotes saying, Hendon was great. He is trending to overtake Will Levis on my rankings. Will is more talented as far as arm strength and size, but I think Hendon might run faster. He's more nimble, has more throws in him, in his arm. He was so mature. He remembered both offenses from Tennessee and from Virginia Tech in such detail. He talked about the route depths and the reasonings behind certain things. He was very even keel. I would be shocked if he doesn't make it in some capacity. That's an NFL coach talking about Hendon Hooker.
Don't that get you excited as a Tennessee fan to hear that about one of the players that you cheered for 2 years? I mean, just representing Tennessee so well. There's a lot of really good talk out here about Hendon Hooker. Keyshawn Johnson this morning on his radio show ranked his draft-eligible quarterbacks. And the only reason why Hendon is not higher is because of his rehab process. The question's about his knee right now. But he has Hendon number 5. He has Bryce Young number 4 because he mentioned how short he was, and that's a big thing for him. Will Levis number 3, Anthony Richardson number 2, and C.J. Stroud number 1. So this is a former wide receiver in the NFL, Super Bowl champion, played for multiple teams, super successful. That's his opinion of the draft quarterbacks who are eligible right now. I would move Hendon around a little bit there, but the fact is that there are a lot of people high on Hendon Hooker.
What this one coach said about how even keel he is, how smart he is, the confidence he carries with himself, that's not in this comment here, but the confidence of what he knows, what he understands, teams are going to catch that quickly. I think Bryce Young, the comment here is Bryce was super smart, really soft-spoken, not quite Sam Howell soft-spoken. He was so detailed about his preparation. Teams are going to notice something like that with Hendon Hooker, that he understands, he has confidence in what he knows and what he was able to do at Tennessee. And they're going to look at what he remembers from his time at Virginia Tech and I think be impressed with the potential he has to learn quickly, as that'll be a part of the process with him trying to play either right away or as a rookie coming back from this knee injury.
Hendon doesn't try to be someone that he's not. I think that's the most important thing here. He's comfortable in his own skin. We can look at examples right now, currently in the NBA with Ja Morant, where you have a player that is rich. He has the fame. He has all the success, but he's trying to be someone he's not. Well, Hendon is someone who's comfortable in his own skin. He wears his faith on his shoulders. You know, when you talk to Hendon Hooker, what is strong to him, his faith, his family, football. He's prepared, Josh. When you have went through the adversity that Hendon has been through, even aside from the ACL, remember at Virginia Tech, they try to question his toughness a little bit because he did not re-enter a game where it was really cold, and they come to find out that he had a medical condition going on, and people question his toughness. They question his leadership. They question his want to. He gets here. He doesn't win the job. So he's faced adversity, and he's prepared. Like, when you are prepared, you're confident. When you enter a test and you know you didn't study and you are nervous as all get out, that's because you're not ready. And the Combine is the ultimate test. It's the ultimate job interview. And Hendon carried himself like he has prepared his entire life for that moment. I think that's a big reason why he was so impressive.
I would also add, and I wouldn't put this at the top of the list of what drives Hendon, in this case, getting ready for the NFL, But he has to be aware of the talk of the other quarterbacks.
He loves it.
And he has to be thinking to himself, wait a minute. I mean, I'll choose the player for him. Will Levis? He's the top 5 to top 10 pick. Did anybody see what happened in Knoxville? We were on the same field. Who was better? Now, this coach even says, yeah, the arm, the size, everybody understands why Will is being talked about that way as an NFL quarterback, because of his arm, his size. He's an athlete. But Hendon has to be thinking, I can throw the football. I can move. But I have the numbers. I have the results to back up my physical ability. That has to be driving him too.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to sit here and hate on Will Levis or Anthony Richardson because they're getting all this draft buzz, because they are phenomenal athletes, and they do have, I think, a very high ceiling because of their arm strength, their arm talent, their mobility. Athletically, they're really good. And you look at the NFL and the quarterback position, you're seeing more and more quarterbacks, different organizations displaying that dual threat ability. And that's where the NFL is going. So look at all of these guys in the top 5. All of them. Stroud, Richardson, Levis, Young, Hooker, according to Keyshawn Johnson, they all can move. Now, some prefer to stay in the pocket longer than others. Stroud really didn't run that much until he had to.
Stroud was questioned about that in Indianapolis. Why didn't you run more? And he said, I should have. I will need to at the next level.
Yeah, but he can. Richardson, we saw him.
Yeah.
Because throwing the football out of these 5, he threw it the worst as far as accuracy, timing, but probably has the strongest arm outside of Will Levis. And then we saw Bryce Young up close and personal October last year. He was mobile. He was accurate. He's great, but Hendon as well. But if you're Hendon Hooker, like you love this. Of course, you want to be the number 1 quarterback off the board because that means you're going to get a bigger bag. But you thrive off people doubting you. He has been doubted his entire life playing the quarterback position. He was doubted at one point by Tennessee, and it only made him better, which in turn made the team better. So he's comfortable being in this position, and he answered the question at the combine about having a chip on his shoulder. And he said, yeah, my whole team had a chip on their shoulder. That's how we went to work, and we used it as motivation. So he's comfortable, carrying himself with that big chip on his shoulder.